Good morning. So in the previous sessions, we have discussed about the database connectivity. I have given some introduction to the database connectivity. So that means we are going to connect to the database through our Java application. Through our Java application, we are going to directly connect to the Java application. So in order to achieve this scenario, we need a JDBC API. Java Database Connectivity API. So JDBC API consists of two components. First one is JDBC Driver Manager and second one is JDBC Drivers. We need a JDBC drivers as well as the JDBC Driver Managers. So the main purpose of the JDBC Driver Manager is to maintain the available database drivers. That means if you are using the Oracle means the code has to convert to the Oracle software, Oracle driver. If the database is DB2 means the code has to convert to the DB2. So the DB2 database connectivity driver has to be loaded. So that task can be done by the JDBC driver manager and then JDBC drivers. So through the JDBC drivers, we are going to connect to the database. So for this purpose, we have two architectures, JDBC architectures. So I have discussed the two architectures. So that is two-tier architectures as well as three-tier architectures. So I have discussed both the things. So in two-tier architectures, there is a one client and one server, single client and single server. So the client will directly connect to the database. There is no middle layer. So in the three-tier architecture, in between the client and the database server, there is a web server. There is a web server. So this is the three-layer architecture. So this can be named as three-tier architecture. So most of the web application will follow the three-tier architecture. So this is all about the database. And then we have seen the some installation of MySQL software, MySQL database software. So we have seen the MySQL database installation, and then we have seen the MySQL connector /J. That means JDBC driver. So MySQL JDBC driver is nothing but a MySQL JDBC MySQL connector /J. So that is the JDBC driver. So inbuilt we have the, if you download all the components of the MySQL, so that will be automatically downloaded to our system. So if you want to make the database connections, if you want to connect the database through the Java, so we need a database and then database connector. That means JDBC drivers. So this is all we have discussed in the previous sessions. So let us move further. So this is the main scenario of the JDBC connectivity. So we have the web application. So we have the web application and then we have the JDBC API. So these two things are there in the client system. And then this is the database server, JDBC driver manager and JDBC driver. We have the JDBC driver manager and then JDBC driver. Through the JDBC driver, we are going to connect to the database. So this is the main theme of the database connectivity. And then two-tier architecture, three-tier architectures we have seen. In the two-tier architecture, client machine and database server will be there. The client will directly connect to the database server. So in three-tier architectures, we have the middleware, that is application server. That means you can call it as a web server also. Here, single client and two servers. In order to achieve the three-tier architectures, we need single client and two servers. Next one, installing the MySQL and MySQL connector /J. So J means Java. So this is the JDBC driver, MySQL connector /J. So this is the JDBC driver. We have to download this one and install. After installing the MySQL software. So if you are using the MySQL software, we have to install the MySQL JDBC drivers. If you are using Oracle means you have to install the Oracle JDBC drivers. If you are using the DB2 database means we have to download the DB2 database JDBC drivers. Next, we have seen the SQL statement, some SQL statement, select statement, and then we have seen the uh, insertion of values into the table, and then we have seen the where class, and we have seen the deletion of the one tuple. So these are the some basic things in the database. So next one, let us start the JDBC environment setup. Next one, JDBC environment setup. So in JDBC environment setup, let us see. That means how do you, after installation of the JDBC connector /j, how do you install that one? After installation, you have to set some things. That means here if you use the NetBeans IDE, suppose to develop the web applications, we have the some IDEs, integrated development tools, IDEs, NetBeans, Eclipse, like that we will use some IDEs to develop the web applications. So widely for developing the Java applications, we will use the NetBeans, Eclipse, and so on. So suppose for example, if you take the NetBeans IDE, we have to set the database there. In the NetBeans IDE, we have to set the database. We have to give the port number as 3306, and then we have to give the username and password. Root is the username and password is root. We have to give the username and password, and we have to start the database. So we have to set the things in the web application also, web IDE also. We have to, if you are writing the web application, that means we are writing the Java application in the NetBeans IDE. We have to set the database connections there itself. So let us, let me show you the NetBeans IDE. So this is the NetBeans IDE icon, Apache NetBeans IDE, Eclipse, like that we have so many IDEs. So this is the opening page of the NetBeans IDE. This is how the page will open. So here see the things. Here we have the databases, servers, cloud servers, heads-on builders, Dockers, task repositories, Selenium server. For testing, we will use the Selenium server. After writing the software, we have to test the code. For testing, we will use the Selenium tool. This is one of the most powerful testing tool, Selenium. So here we will write the programs. So in the database, let us check the things are set or not. So database. So MySQL server at localhost. This is the address 3306, port number, host name, port number. So this is the database I am going to use. So this is disconnected. Let us start the database. So if you want to start the database, we have to set the path. JDBC, we have to set the JDBC paths. So here we have to set the URL to the admin tool. And then we have to set the start command, path to start command, and path to stop command. So after setting all these things, the database, the MySQL database will start working. So this is the some settings regarding the NetBeans. So this is the MySQL shell. So I have installed the MySQL. So this is the MySQL shell. So here we will create the databases, or we can delete the databases. Here we can uh, create some tables and retrieve some information. So this is my MySQL database. So then next one is JDBC connectivity model. JDBC connectivity models and API. That means JDBC driver, JDBC connectivity model consists of 4 types of drivers. So JDBC drivers. So we have said that JDBC API consists of JDBC driver manager and JDBC drivers. So there are 4 types of JDBC drivers available. 4 types. So we'll see the 4 types here. And then before that, we can see the driver manager. So we know the purpose of the driver manager, and then the methods of the driver manager class. So driver manager is a class in Java. Driver manager is a class in Java. So all the things, all the database related things are imported from the package import java.sql and import javax.sql.hash. So from these 2 packages, all the database related classes and methods can be imported. So this is the one class in the SQL package. Driver manager is one class. So the class consists of so many methods. So these are the mainly used methods in this class. Connection. So connection is another class. The method is get connection method. So we will use the get connection method to establish the connection with the specified URLs, specified address. So these are the some methods in the driver class. Next, drivers. Next, coming to the drivers. So JDBC drivers are written in the Java language. So JDBC drivers are written in the Java language. So we have 4 types of JDBC drivers available. The first type is type 1 driver, type 2 driver, type 3 driver. Next, type 4 driver. We will classify the JDBC drivers into 4 categories. First one, type 1 driver. So type 1 driver is named as JDBC ODBC bridge driver. JDBC ODBC bridge driver. So this is the first JDBC driver. So this is the default, we can call it as a default driver. So when you install the Java JDK, automatically this type 1 driver will be installed in the JVM. So this is the default driver. So when you install the JDK in your system, automatically type 1 driver, type 1 JDBC ODBC bridge driver will be installed into your systems. So there is no need to separately install the JDBC driver. Automatically type 1 driver will be available along with the JDK. So this is the basic driver. So this bridges the gap between the ODBC driver and then JDBC driver. So we have 2 types of drivers. That is ODBC driver, JDBC driver. ODBC driver means open database connectivity. Open database connectivity. JDBC means Java database connectivity. So before Java evolution, ODBC drivers are widely used. That means ODBC drivers are supported by the C language and C++ language. That means those are the platform independent languages. So before evolvement of the Java, those are the powerful languages in that time. So after evaluation of the Java, to merge the gap between the internet applications and desktop applications, we need a platform independent language, platform independent driver. So that's why JDBC drivers are introduced. So this is the main purpose of the type 1 JDBC ODBC bridge driver. So it has some disadvantages. So its performance is very slow. So next one, type 2 driver. So next one, type 2 driver. So type 2 driver can be named as native API driver. Type 2 driver can be named as native API driver. So native API driver means the Java interface for vendor specific APIs. Vendor specific APIs are provided. So here from this type 2 driver onwards, vendor specific APIs, that means vendor means database vendors, Oracle, IBM, or Microsoft. So these are the some vendors of the databases. So here Java interfaces for the vendor specific APIs are provided. That means in this, if you install the JDBC driver, then we have the option for choosing of the drivers, vendor specific driver. Whether if you want Oracle database, the driver will choose the Oracle database. If the database is the DB2 database, then this type 2 driver will choose the database. So any type of the database, in irrespective of the vendor, that the driver will select the database. So this is the main advantage of the type 2 driver and introducing the native API driver. That means vendor specific APIs, vendor specific application program interfaces are introduced in this driver. So this is the one advantage of the type 2 driver. So whereas this type 1 driver does not support all these things. So type 2 driver has this advantage. So next, from type 2 driver, all the drivers are vendor specific. Next, type 3 driver. So next one, type 3 driver. So type 3 driver is also known as network protocol driver. So network protocol driver, that means for communication, for connecting the database, here the driver uses some protocol. So driver uses some network protocol. So that is TCP/IP protocol. So to connect the database server, it uses the TCP/IP protocol. So here TCP/IP protocol. So this is also a vendor specific, but the implementation is different. So here we will use the TCP/IP protocol to connect the server. So next one, type 4 driver. So type 4 driver is also known as native protocol driver. Native protocol driver. So this is the latest version, and the most of the applications will use the type 4 driver. Type 4 driver. So native API means it is a vendor specific. So protocol driver means it is a mixture of type 2 and type 3 driver. So it is a vendor specific, as well as it follows the, for connections, it follows the TCP/IP model. So that's why it is called the native protocol driver. So this is most widely used driver, JDBC driver. So if you want to use the web application, means we will use the type 4 driver. Type 4 driver. So if you want to use the JDBC architecture, we have to use the 3-tier architectures, and we have to follow the type 4 driver. We have to follow the 3-tier architecture, and then we have to follow the type 4 driver. We have to download the type 4 driver, and we have to follow the type 3-tier architecture. So these are the drivers available in the JDBC. There are 4 different types of drivers available in the JDBC. Type 1 driver, type 2 driver, type 3 driver, and type 4 driver. Next, all the classes and methods related to the database are imported from the packages Java SQL, javax.sql. From these 2 packages, so we can imported the classes related to the database, as well as the methods related to the database. So there are some new features that have been added to these packages. So the new features are improvement in the exception handling. So there is a possibility of exception handling, exceptions in the databases. So there are some improvements in the latest versions of the Java packages, and then enhancements in the connection and statement interface. So in the in the database connections, in Java code, we will use the interfaces. Widely, we can use the interfaces. So those interfaces are connection interface and statement interface. For us to write the SQL statements, we will use the statement interface. To connect the database, the client will connect the database through the connection interface. So these two interfaces are very, very important and essential in connecting the databases. Connection interface and then statement interface. And then automatic database driver loading. So the latest versions of Javax package consist of the automatic database driver loading. That means if you install the driver means previously we have to load the driver. That means you have to load the JDBC driver. So the latest versions will automatically load the JDBC drivers. So there are some interfaces here. Let us see briefly. Connection interface. So connection interface comprises the methods for making the connection with the databases. So this is the interface. Connection interface is used to connect to the database. If you want to connect to the database, you have to implement this interface, connection interface. So for this purpose, we can create the connection object. We can create the connection object for this interface. Next, statement. So statement is a we can create the object for this interface statement. Use it to submit the SQL statement to the database. That means select star from those type of statements will be given through this object, statement object. So statement is an interface. Connection is an interface. So we can create an object of the connection. We can create the object for the statement. Then result set. So result set is also an object. Result set is an interface, but we can create an object for the result set. So result set is very, very important. So why? Because it is used to hold the data received from the database after executing the SQL query. So if you execute the SQL query, select star from table. That means the entire table will be displayed. That means that is some object. So that will be stored in the result set. That we can call it as a result set. The output of the SQL query can be stored in the result set. Then SQL exception. So SQL exception class handles the errors that may occur in the database application. So if any SQL errors, SQL exceptions are erased, those may be placed in the SQL exception class. So these are the main classes and interface used in the database connections. Connection interface, statement interface, result set interface, and then SQL exception class. So these are the some interfaces used to connect the databases. So next one is establishing the JDBC database connections. Establishing the JDBC database connections. So till now we have seen first we have selected the architecture, JDBC architecture, 3-tier architecture. Then we have installed the MySQL database. Then we have installed the JDBC drivers, MySQL connector/J. We have installed the JDBC drivers. So in the JDBC driver, we have selected the type 4 JDBC driver. After installing the type 4 JDBC driver, we are going to establish the database connections. Everything is setup is completed now. Environment setup is completed. Next, we have to all the downloads, installations, and path setting, everything is completed now. Now we have to establish the JDBC database connections. Now we have to start connections. So we have ultimate goal is to connect the database and to retrieve some queries or to insert some data into the database through the Java application. So there are some steps to follow. For establishing the JDBC database connections, we have some steps to follow. So these are the steps. So there are 7 steps to follow. In order to establish the JDBC connections, we have to follow all these 7 steps. So first one is load and register the JDBC driver. First one is load and register the JDBC driver. Next one is define the connection URL. Define the connection URL. Next one, establish the connection. Next one, create a statement object. Next, execute the query or update the query. Next, process the result. Next, close the connection. Close the connection. Establish the connection, close the connection. So these are the 7 steps to be followed in order to establish the JDBC connection to the database. So let us see one by one. First one, load and register the JDBC driver. So that means we have to load the JDBC driver, and then we have to register the JDBC driver. That means we have the JDBC driver manager. We have the JDBC driver manager. So first we have to register our driver, type 4 driver or type 3 driver or something, anything. So the driver has to register in the driver manager. So that is the first step. First we have to register our driver. So that is the first step. Next, define the connection. Next, define the connection. That means for establishing a connection with the database, we need a URL address, the database URL address. That means universal URL means universal resource locator. Universal resource locator. That means address of the database. That means address means socket address. That is IP address plus port number. Localhost : 3306/student. That is the database address. So that URL we have to know. We have to define the connection URL. We have to know the server host ID, port ID, and the database name. We have to know the server address, database server address. That is the second step. So if you know the database ID address, then we will establish the connection. We will establish the database connection through the username and password. That means root. We have given the root as username, password as root. So we can log in with the URL along with the username and password. So this is the requirement for the establishing the connection. Next, after connection is established, we have to create the statement object. Statement. So for connection, we can use the connection interface. Next, we have to create the statement object. That means we have to write some query. Select star from, select yes name from employee. So like that, we have to create some object. So this can be possible by using the creation of an object of statement interface. So that can be done. Next, execute the query. So after creation of the query has to be executed. So for execution, we have some methods: execute query, execute update, execute batch methods. So like that, we have so many methods for execution. So we can use any one of these and we can execute the query statement. Next, to process the result. So after execution of the query, we can get some output. The output can be processed by using the result set. That can be processed by using the result set interface. So the result set maintains the output of the executed query. That is the processing of the results. Next, to close the connection. So these are the 7 steps to be followed to get the connection from the database. So first one, we have to load the driver. Next one, we have to know the URL of the database, and then we have to know the username and password of the database, and then we have to write the query, and then we have to execute the query, and then we have to process the result set, and then we have to close the database connection. So these are the 7 steps to be followed. So these are the 7 steps to be followed in order to have the JDBC connection, database connection through the JDBC. So these steps are very, very important. So let us see in some detail. So first step is load and register the JDBC driver. So load and register the JDBC driver. So this can be done by the syntax class.forName driver class name. So class for loading the driver. So to load the driver, we will use this syntax class.forName. So forName is a method. So see the some driver names. Drivers for the commonly used database. Driver names. So MySQL database has the driver name as com.mysql.jdbc.driver. MS Access is a database. It has the sun.jdbc.odbc.jdocodbc driver. So Oracle, it has some ID, driver name. So through these driver names, we can register this driver into the driver manager. We can register this JDBC drivers to the driver manager. So these are the names, default names for the different databases. Next, defining the connection URL. So defining the connection URL. See here syntax. Defining the connection URL. So that means second step is we have to know the URL address of the database server. So this is the URL address of the database server. So see here JDBC:MySQL. This is the protocol. JDBC is the protocol. In that MySQL is the sub protocol. Localhost is the host name. 3306 is the port number. Student data is the name of the database. So this is the URL of the database. So this URL of the database entire this URL can be treated as string. We can give the double quotes and give the URL name as string name as URL, and we can give it we can give this as some data type, that is string data type, non-primitive data type. So this is how you can load the URL, and then after loading the URL we have to get the connection. So establish the connection. Next one is establishing the connection. So to establish the connection, we need the database username and password. So that username and password can be given as like this. So in order to establish the connection, we need a connection object. So this is the connection object, CON, of type connection. So get connection is the method. Get connection is a method in the driver manager. So this is the static method. That's why we can directly access this method by using the class name. So driver manager is the class. Driver manager dot get connection. So URL. So above this is the URL. URL comma username comma password. So this is the way to get the connection. Establish the connection. We can establish the connection by using the connection interface, connection object. By creating the connection object, here the method we will use is get connection. So get connection is the method. So after establishing the connection, we have to write the queries. So these are the some methods of the connection class. So connection class has so many methods. So these are the some methods: close method, create statement method, create statement, database metadata method, metadata, get metadata method. Like that, we have so many methods in the connection class. So like that, we have so many rollback, commit, some transaction. To achieve transaction, we will use the commit and rollback. So those methods are also available in the connection class. So after creating the connections, we have to write the statements. We have to create the statements. That means we have to write the SQL queries. We have to write the SQL queries. we have to write the SQL queries. So we can write the SQL queries by using this syntax. So by using this syntax, you can write the SQL queries. So we can use the statement class. So before to get the connections, we have used the connection class. To write the SQL queries, we can use the statement class. So we can create the object for the statement class, and then we can use the method create statement. So here to write the any SQL queries, we can use the create statement. So create statement is a method which can be accessed by using the connection object. So we have created the connection object. Connection con is equal to that URL name. So connection is an object of the type connection class. So connection class has the create statement method. Connection class has the create statement method. So this create statement method can be accessed by using the object, that is con. We can place the writing of the SQLs in the try catch blocks. So there is a possibility of some exceptions, exceptions. Then we have to write the statements in the try catch block. Try st is the object we have created for the SQL query. So after writing the SQL query, we will execute that query by using the execute or execute update. Like that, we can execute the queries. So after executing the queries, we can close the statement object, st.close. We can close the queries, st.close. So next, executing the query update. So we can execute the query by using the syntax. By using this syntax. So you can write the queries string SQL. This is the query. So all these things are placed in the double quote, select star from EC students. That is the table name. So this string can be stored in the SQL. So RS is the result set object. We have to create the result set object. RS is equal to st.execute query. So we have to execute the st object's query. So this query is placed in the st. So here we are using the three objects. First one is connection object. Second one is st object. Third one is RS object. We are creating the three objects. So connection object is for connection. Get the database connection. st object is for writing the queries. Next, RS object is for storing the result. So these are the three objects we will use it in the database connections. So st.execute query is the method to execute the st. St means query. So the result will be stored in the RS. So the result will be stored in the RS object. So which is created in the result set class. So there are some interfaces for executing the queries. So we can have the statement. Simply we can use the statement interface. Statement st is equal to, like that we can use. Other than that, we have the prepared statement and callable statement. So these two also available to write the queries. So simply we can use the statement. Statement interface to write the queries. So this is the syntax for the statement. Statement st is equal to connection.create statement. This is the syntax for creation of the statements that are writing the queries. Next, commonly used methods. So there are some methods supported by this statement interface. Those are the execute, boolean execute update. We have seen that result set execute query, result set get result set, get more results, add batch, execute batch. So like that we have, if you use the statement interface, we can use these methods. We can use all these methods. So like that, if you use the prepared statement means it supports some methods. So if you want to use the prepared statement means that means to write the queries, we can have the prepared statement. So prepared statement PS equal to connection dot prepare statement SQL. So you can pass the SQL object. So here in the statement, so we don't pass the any parameter to this method. So but prepared statement, we have to pass the parameter SQL. So we have stored the, we have write the query in the string SQL that we have to pass prepare statement. So this prepare statement also supports some methods. So these are the methods supported by the prepare statement: set int, set string, set float, set double. So execute update, execute query, like that. There are so many methods. So likewise, we can have the callable statement also. So it is also for writing the queries. So it is not widely used one. Then, so this is the things related to the establishment of the database connections. So first step is, there are 7 steps. First step is, first step is we have to register the JDBC driver. Next, we have to know the URL of the database. Third, we have to establish the connection through the connection object. Next, we have to write the queries using the statement class. Next, after that, we have to execute the queries. After that, we have to store the executable results in the result set, and then we have to close the connection. So these are the 7 steps to be followed to connect the database through the Java application. So this is all for today's class. Any doubts? So in the next class, we will continue the result set interface. We will deeply study the result set interface and some application. Anything else? Okay, thank you.